13 on Your Side Green Thumb. Sponsored by Morgan Composting, the creator of Dairy Dew.
It's that time of the summer when your lawn could be looking a bit rough.
Or a little crispy, as we like to call it. You know, we do have some tips on how to bring the green back to your grass in this week's Green Thumb.
Well, our Green Thumb is here, and if you've been fretting about your dry and crusty lawn, you're not alone. But our Green Thumb, Justin Morgan, says, do not give up. It may not be dead. In fact, it could just be waiting for a good dousing rain, right?
Yeah, more than likely, yeah. They do. They get beat up with these dry, hot summer days that we have now.
Yes.
We're getting close to Labor Day, and those roots are really tough. I mean, Mother Nature's resilient. She's going to put something green there back. You know, you start getting them hybrid lawns and stuff, that turf is resilient to this type of summer heat, right?
The other thing about being drought resistant is having the right kind of soil. And there are things that we can do to amend our soil. And you've got a really cool experiment that sort of demonstrates this is kind of a typical West Michigan yard. This is sandy soil right from a yard in our community.
That's right, yeah. We look at thousands of soil samples, and I tell you, there is a lot of soil just like this in Michigan, especially over here. So this is a very sandy soil, very light organic matter. We're probably talking less than 1% organic matter, which again, it's what you got served up when you bought your house, right? It's just the soil we live in Michigan. So this is like what a normal lawn would look like underneath, and you can tell with the lawn the way it is. Yeah, this would implement like a rain, and as it goes down through, you'll see that, look how fast it'll just suck down into that, right? Our lawn.
Yep.
And even if we do get a flash, it sucks it down in there, and we don't got any organic matter, little sponges, to help hold that nutrient in.
So it's run right through where we want it to be doing its most work.
That's right, yeah. So even if we do get a good soaker, is it holding on? And that's what we talk about. What's organic matter good for? And why do we have it, right? So then this would be like a very healthy lawn, high organic matter. This is our topsoil blend. And this would replicate kind of something that you would be looking at in a healthy lawn, where as you can see, it's going to take a little bit more time, and then it's
just sitting on top, that rainwater.
That's right. So there's a balance of, over time, we want that to soak in, but once it soaks in, we want it to keep in, and you can see in that, it's just kind of holding up in that plastic, and it's not just driving it down to our aquifer, it's actually holding into the root zone of where the action happens, to then when Mother Nature wants to feed into water, it takes it back up.
How do I get this soil to behave like this? Because it takes patience. You said to me, this is a marathon.
This is a marathon, yeah. There's two ways. You can bring in a lot of our topsoil blend and put, which a lot of people do. We have a lot of contractors moving a lot of topsoil throughout the state. That's a way. The other way is if you already have your lawn established and you want to start building your organic matter up, take the Safe Green Lawn. That has Dairy Dew in there. We put humates in there from North Dakota. That's another carbon source. So we put carbon in there in our fertilizer. Unlike the salt-based fertilizer, if you put salt and water together and you pour it in here, it's going to run through in our aquifer. And that's a concern for our grandchildren and our checkbook, because it's not where we want it to be. So if we put something like the Safe Green Lawn that has Dairy Dew in there, organic matter, and it's a fertilizer, we put that in there, now that's sticking in that grow zone, and that's going to help feed those roots organically. Yes, it's recommended. How often do I fertilize my lawn? And we always recommend 3 times a year. Memorial, which seemed like it was yesterday, and now all of a sudden we're Labor. So Memorial, 4th of July, and Labor Day. And if you really want to get aggressive, depends on what kind of lawn guy you are, you can go up to 5 times a year and fertilize with that.
The best answer, though, to a good, lush green lawn, especially in these dry times, it's not just more water. It's what you got going on in the soil as well.
That's right. Yep.
Good advice. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Here's to green lawns everywhere.